Welcome to the Next Dimension Tales 3D Storytelling video series. Authors and artists Shannon Albright, Darina Bree, Nara Malone, and Shovam Muir have been exploring 3D storytelling together for more than 10 years. To kick off our series, we decided to take up the Unity 3D Challenge to try animated storytelling with their editing platform. They promise we can tell a story using their game engine without writing a single line of code. They have a tutorial designed to show authors and artists how easy it is to use Unity 3D for storytelling. Over the next few weeks, we will be doing their tutorial together, sharing our thoughts, our results, and the unique twists we bring to the process. You can find links to download Unity 3D and the tutorial we are following in the description. Because cities often have different kinds of buildings, we'll be adding some multi-high-rises to our cityscape. Here's how. Click on your scene window, then game object, then 3D object, then cube.
Where'd it go? Oh, wow, it's really small.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay,
time to
now
do the scale.
set the scale to X4, Y30, Z4. Thank you, Darina. On these new cubes, change the, wait a minute, and like the last time, we're going to duplicate the item 4 more times. So use Control D, so select that cube and say Control D and make it 4 times.
Oh, I think what we need to do is we need to nest the first high rises that we made so that they are out of the way of the new cubes we are making.
That's a really good idea. Why don't you do
Yeah.
that, Dorina? Make an empty game object and talk about that as you're doing it. So Shannon will learn how to do that.
Okay, so create empty,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll name that high rises.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should.
So an empty game object, think of it like a folder. You don't see it in your scene, but then you can put things in it to just tidy up things and make them easier to control.
So I selected all the big high rises, and
Mhm.
I'm just going to slide them into the one that I named high rises.
There you go. Good job.
And then, ta-da. And
All
see,
right.
then you can just put it anywhere and get it out of the way. So
So
here's my,
now, all right. So click high rises for a second and just turn that off so you can see the cube that you made.
over here in the inspector,
Yeah.
there's this check mark right beside it. I'm just gonna, ta-da, they disappeared.
There, they're going. So now zoom in so we can see your cube.
Hitting F on my keyboard.
Yeah. And so now you're going to drag. So you made 5 of them and you're going to separate them because they all rested on top of each other or
Right.
instantiated themselves. I think we use instantiate in Unity. Res is an open simulator or a Second Life term.
And if you don't mind, just because it's bothering me, I'm going to set them down on the ground.
Oh, yeah, please do. That's fine. So then you're going to take these 5 cubes and you're going to scale the Y part of each one to a different height. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So go up by 5s, just so they're not all the same height.
Did that long.
You got to select them one at a time.
Yeah. Okay. So 10.
Good job. Okay. So next you're going to arrange the cubes so they touch each other, but they're not inside of each other. So let me show you a picture of my multi-high rises over here. Siobhan, you might want to switch.
Oops.
Oops, I turned off high rises. Well, I can do that and turn on multi-high rises. See? And then when I turn on the high rises, I'll have them all spaced around each other. But just so you get us an idea of what these guys look like, just a
Oh,
bunch like cityscape scenes, all the little shapes and stuff together. Okay,
okay.
switch back to her, Siobhan. Thank you, Siobhan. Siobhan is our camera woman.
I do what I can.
Shannon, you hanging in there? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, I am.
Oh, cool.
I got one.
That's okay. That's okay. If you make one multi high rise here, we're doing good. And it'll be easy to do the stuff that we did last week because, this is
Very,
harder
very
than
much
that.
like Blender.
Yeah, and it's like building in Second Life or OpenSim. You just drag the prims down and resize them and move them around. You know how to do all that.
Yeah.
So cool. So the cool thing about this is since we have them in that cube, then you can then take and select the multi high rise. Well, you're going to make an empty game object to put them in. So you're going to make one called multi high rises, or I just abbreviated mine MHR.
Is this something like this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, so then I just click them all together and put them in a empty.
you got to make the empty first,
Okay, game object, create empty,
right?
and multi-high rise.
Right. Good deal.
And
Right. Select
ta-da!
those and put them in that folder. Now, close that folder up and duplicate that 5 times. Control D is duplicate.
Do I make 5 or 6?
5.
5.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Or can't count. All right. And then you're just going to drag those around in the scene to fill in your spots around put your last week's high rises back in so you see where they are.
Whoa!
And then move these around to make a pretty cityscape. And reading here, you can even rotate them, which would be cool. So you grab the parent object and do the rotate. So this might be a good place to explain the hotkeys here. So there's a hotkey, W, E, and R, and together they make the word were, sort of. And if you just remember it like that. So W is the thing that will let you move, and E is the thing that will let you rotate, and R is the thing that will let you scale. So if you try hitting an E right now and just show what that looks like.
Oh, and then you want to
Rotate
rotate
it
it
in
on the Y, the green one,
the green one. Yeah.
which you can see up here in the corner is up and down.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And if you hit the R, let's see, can you scale all of them together when you hit the R? Will that work
Yeah,
in a
you do
game
the
object?
you do the little white here in the middle, and that scales them all
Yeah,
in
cool.
all directions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That would have been helpful to
Yeah.
know.
Well,
And
then you
W,
gotta find them
W is
again.
your select key.
Um,
And just make it look like a city. You want to leave space for streets, kind of think about where you want your streets to be and how you want things to look. Now the tall high rises are supposed to be in back of the multi high rises. The tall high rises were supposed to be kind of your background, but I didn't follow the rules. So you don't have to follow the rules. I put one of the shorter of my high rises, I moved up front a little.
I put them in various places because it was kind of fun to see how they stood up against the bigger ones.
If you flip over to mine, Siobhan, this is what mine looks like in the game view. Now I've added a sky dome to mine, and we'll do that after we're finished making all our high rises. We'll add a sky dome, even though it's not part of the tutorial. We just like to add our own little nice twists, and I think it's nice to have a sky. Makes it look prettier. Okay, switch back to Dorina. And let's see what Shannon's got. You switch to Shannon.
Not much.
That's okay. That's okay. We just want to give you some credit for working so hard over there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then, Siobhan, show yours that you did.
I don't think I can, given that I'm recording. Well, I might be able to.
You click your screen and it should come up.
My screen is, you are sharing my screen is black. So,
something like that.
Yep, that looks good, Dorina. Flip back to Dorina.
there's mine.
There
Well,
we go.
no,
Did you get?
Ooh,
it's not showing anything, is it?
floating buildings.
Let me see if I can see your screen. Yeah, I see.
I see your
You see
screen.
They're pink. They're pink and purple. If I click on the picture, there's the screen with your name, SM, and then there's the screen below it. That is the colored buildings that you did.
But all
really
I keep seeing and recording is you are sharing your screen. Show me what I'm sharing. There we go. Try that.
Okay. I can't see the recording screen. So I can see a screen that says recording, and I see pink and salmon colored and purple buildings there.
Yep.
It's a really pretty color scape. And if it doesn't show up in our video, I will get a screen grab of it and add it.
So I'm going to go back to Dorina's screen.
Looks a little too uniform.
And no, you're fine. You're fine. We're not going to get too fancy yet until we have all the buildings done, because you're just going to have to move them all around again. And and Siobhan and I did colors, but we're bad
I did
like
colors
that.
so I could see them.
We don't follow.
They are
the
really
rules
hard to
and
see.
Yeah,
that's
did
why
that
I colored
too.
mine.
They were so hard to see with the shadows and stuff that I put colors. And we'll talk about how to add colors later, because that's not an obvious intuitive thing. But we're all done with this session. And next time around, we will make the foreground buildings. So that'll be fun. Okay.
Oh, save.
Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.